Hey, Rick, I know this is a sport where you want to build toward March and you want to kind of treat every game the same, but is there something special whenever the trip to Lexington pops up on the schedule?
Well, I think it is. I mean, you go back and you have great respect for basketball programs that have been good through every decade, really starting back in the 40s, I guess. And that's why those, the recognition that those programs have been successful every decade for going on 70, 80 years, there's a reason they're special because they're good, year in and year out. And expectations that those programs are always extremely high. And obviously being here at Tennessee now 7 years, prior to coming here, I wasn't really knew that much about the Tennessee-Kentucky rivalry. I didn't because I grew up on the other side of the mountain and everything was based on what was going on over there. But certainly, I think that people get excited. That's what I think every coach is trying when they build their program. They want people come into their building to be excited the same way. But obviously, you guys know I have great respect for John and what he's done. And I've said before, he is the perfect coach built for the University of Kentucky program and what he's done and the way he's been able to sustain it. And, very few down really times when you think about it, especially with the way this league has gotten so much better. I mean, this league everybody wants to throw numbers out about, what league's better based on statistics and all that. But I can't imagine there's a league in the country this year that has what we have. And certainly I'm not sure there's a league in the country that has as many pro prospects as this league has.
Ricky, you guys have had a lot of success at Rupp. What do you think it is about going there, or what's in common there that has led to your teams winning there?
I don't know, Grant, if I can answer that other than the fact that, we've had some guys that have played well there, but those same guys that won up there a year ago came back here and they came in here and beat us soundly in every way you could be beaten. So I don't know. I wish I could, whatever it is that when we're playing our best basketball, I hope we play our best game tomorrow, but I hope it's not nearly as good as the game we play after that. And, we're building. I think John has done a terrific job with his team. They started out with some new pieces they had to put into the puzzle, and he's got them playing real nice together right now. And there's not enough you can say about Ashidwe with what he's doing. I mean, the last guy that I heard that got 20 rebounds as many times that he has was Marvin Barnes way back in the early 70s, where I think he averaged that. But what he's doing there is phenomenal. And but again, Greg, I can't put a why. I just hope we can do it again. That's all I can say.
Go next to Mike Wilson, Rob Lewis, and then Jerry Tipton.
Yeah, Rick, you just mentioned Oscar Tshiebwe. How do you go about scouting and preparing for a player that rebounds at that rate?
I think that you're transparent with your team. You show what he does. He does it. Rebounding. We talk about it all the time. We try to get our guys to go at it like that. Is there a talent to it? Absolutely. Is there the biggest thing I think is a tremendous want to do that, and because it's hard. I mean, when you're getting that many rebounds, because I've got enough respect for the coaching profession that when other teams have played against him, they've made a conscious effort to say we've got to work hard at keeping him off the offensive boards. We've got to, he's a guy that I remember when I was at Providence. They used to tell me that Marvin Barnes, and when I met Marvin, he used to tell me too that he would tell his teammates, "You guys just block out, and I'll go get all of them." And he did pretty much. And I'm not sure how Kentucky's doing it, other than the fact that Oscar's got a tremendous passion and a drive to go get it. And you admire it because you want that from people. I think he understands the importance of it anyway. I like to think what he's doing, he's got to. And I'd like to get some of our guys with that mindset to do it night in and night out like he's done it.
Coach Fulke had 10 and 7 the other night. Would you take that every night from him? Is that
absolutely? We can get the consistency from him and our older players. I think that we get that from our older guys, where we pretty much know what they're going to give us every single night. And then when we get into our rotation. We'd like to see some separation with guys so we can really get into a rotation. That would be good. But we've got confidence in our guys that we put out there, and we would like to see consistency there from them as well. But we really need our older players that have been through this. Some of these guys, as I've mentioned before, they're in new roles. Some of them have never gone through this, but the older guys have, and our younger guys are going to look to them in so many different areas, and so we need them to be consistent.
Jerry?
Yes, Rick, I hope I can ask two questions. I noticed you guys are ranked pretty high in defense, and I'm wondering what's the key there for you guys defensively?
Well, if you look at our offensive numbers, it's obvious we're putting all of our emphasis on defense because we're as good as our defensive numbers are, our offensive numbers are that bad. So maybe that's the key. I don't know. But the fact is, our guys believe in it. They know that it's something that we go from day one with. That's as we continue to put our system in from day one, and we expect guys to buy into it. And the thing is, and you're right, the numbers look good, but we still know that we can get better. We got guys that we know that need to get better in certain areas, and we'll keep doing that. Like I said, I hope we play our best basketball game tomorrow, but I hope we're better the game after that. And we just want to see each guy improve like that from one game to the next so we can continue to build and grow. But it's a lot. The fact that, again, I do credit our older guys with a lot of that because they really do get locked in on our game plan and how we want to do things on the defensive end. And when they're talking and they're active and they're really calling out things, because this time of year, there's, John and his staff know us probably as well as we know them. So when you get older guys that are talking and you get teams that really talk, especially defensively, you've got a chance to have something special.
And I wondered too, you guys have won the last two times you've played at Kentucky. Teams don't win here 3 in a row very often. How much is history making maybe a motivating thing?
Well, I haven't thought about it. Are you trying to jinx us, or what are you trying to do here? I don't know. I don't. We don't think about it. You know what? Right now, where we are, we really are locked into trying to figure out who we are, what we need to do, and I've been up there over 7 years where we didn't play well, and again, I haven't thought about that. I'm just honestly, I went home last night when I'm breaking down our tape and seeing some good things. My whole mindset with our guys today is, hey, let's do what we're working on right here, and let's see how it shakes out.
Thanks.
Okay.
Go next to Karthik and then back to Grant Ramey and Mike Wilson.
Hey, Coach, earlier you said something along the lines of when you came here, you didn't understand or didn't realize the significance of the rivalry between Tennessee and Kentucky. What would you say it means to you now?
Well, I want to win. I don't care who we're playing, and I've honestly, as a coach, I've never tried to put a great deal of emphasis on one game over the other. If you look at where we are in our league, arguably the 3 most important games that we play are Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and South Carolina, because those are our 3 common opponents. So there's 6 games of our SEC. So we've never tried to make one game over the other that much more important. What I've often told our team is I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. You get up to play one team like a Kentucky, and then you think that, hey, we can just cruise through other games. That's why we have always tried to. That's why we've always tried to go. That's why we've tried to go with our game plan each and every day, where we're consistent with our players, where they understand that we value every game, regardless of who we're playing. And I would tell you this: if you were in our locker room from the start of the season to right now, you would see that I think we played 13 games. We have not done anything different in terms of our prep, because we want them to understand that every game's a big game. And if they don't believe that, come March, they will. But again, we talked about what makes games like this. I mean, obviously it's big for the fans. There's no question about that. I mean, it's like a border war. They're 2.5 hours north of us. And Tennessee through the years, I think have I mean, you think about it, they've been playing, I don't know how long they've been playing, I guess forever it seems like, but a lot of it has to do with the success that Kentucky has had. And I've said many times before that this program here is working towards being in that kind of situation where every year in and out, you just want to be where, if you're talked about every year as being one of those kind of programs, eventually you want to keep going to where you there's a standard that's been set and you're always trying to reach that standard.
Since 1910, Rick, I think you were a GA at Davidson that year.
That was my third year in coaching. That was my first full-time year. You know,
Do you go into this game looking at Oscar and Keon Brooks and others in the post is like this is an ultimate test for your post guys, or are you careful?
I mean, last year, the thing about Mintz came in here and lit us up. I think he had 5 threes last year. They came in and they really, the game, I think they beat us by 20 or something, but it wasn't even that close. And I think Mintz hit 5 threes. They had, I think, maybe one of their best shooting nights against us in here a year ago, and played great. And so we've got respect for all their players. I mean, you know, we've certainly playing against Kellen Grady. You know, we've scrimmaged Davidson every year that he was at Davidson and know him, and played against Wheeler last year, and I'm sure he'll be ready to play tomorrow. So, yeah, we know these guys, and it's not just our post guys that we've got to be concerned with.
Rick, you've talked about how teams are guarding Santi differently this year, and it certainly seemed like South Carolina was keying on him. Do you need more of your perimeter guys to start knocking down shots, if for nothing else, to open up the floor and take some pressure off Santi in that way?
Yeah, there's no doubt that he's a person that they game plan for. There's no doubt. I mean, but with the way they're guarding him, it's also opening up a pretty good gap there if we can take advantage of it. If they're going to hug up to him and opens the floor up a little bit more. And Santi's fine with being a screener and moving without the ball. And but you know, he's gotten himself, and I've mentioned it so many times, his conditioning, but he impacts a game whether he's scoring or not. I mean, the way he rebounds like he's a 6'5", 6'6" player, and he defends. He's going to do it. He's one of, like I said, the older guys that knows what's going on during the game. He probably has, when there's no probably to it, he has the best feel of any player that we have. Like, he'll come over during the game and say, you know, say, you know, hey, we need to do this, coach, or we need to do that. We need to set this situation up because of the way they're guarding me. So Santi's very smart, very unselfish, and he's learning too. I mean, he's never been guarded the way he's being guarded this year, so he's learning to work through that as well.
Last one for Coach goes to Rob Lewis.
Coach, you talk about Santi being guarded that way. How about Kennedy and what teams are doing to him? 4 games in the conference play. I mean, it seems like they're really trying to kind of be physical with him. And how do you think he's handling it?
Well, I would agree with that, but I also think, Rob, where Kennedy will continue to get better. I mean, he's seeing a different defense pretty much every night, where he's starting to understand. And again, I mentioned before that every game has its own personality, and you've got to, as much as we try to assimilate what the other team might be doing, say with him on ball screens, whatever it may be, he still has to learn to adjust, because they might make adjustments throughout the game, and it's not going to always be the same every time you come down to court. But he's learning that, and if he'll continue to, you know, embrace that and realize he's still, you know, young, learning a lot, he'll be fine.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.